Hello everyone and welcome back to Super Mario World on the Super Nintendo. I am Wild Sheep yet again, and today we're going to be finishing off Vanilla Dome. Are we going to be finishing off the entirety of the Vanilla Dome, including the secrets? I have no idea. But hey, blogs! The first introduction of the blog enemies. And these enemy types are unkillable. You cannot kill a blog. You can't throw shells into them. You can't do anything to hurt them, which is very unfortunate. But they are an enemy type that is honestly not very often associated with the Mario franchise. Even though they're introduced in this game, which is essentially Mario Bros. 4, they disappear off the face of the earth from the Mario series up until Super Mario 3D World, I believe, or Mario Land. Actually no, they're in Galaxy as well. Either way, they disappear for a long time off the series after this game, but they're normally associated with the Yoshi video game franchise because they tend to be a regular enemy type in all the upcoming Yoshi games past this point, you know, like Yoshi's Island, which is Super Mario World 2, which takes place before the original Mario Bros. 1 anyway, but that's beside the point. And loads of other Yoshi-based games like Yoshi's Story, and all those sort of deals, you know? And Yoshi games, well, I consider Yoshi games to be their own separate series to the Mario series of games, so when I do tackle games starring Yoshi, like Yoshi's Island and Yoshi's Story and whatnot, I'm going to be dealing with them as if they're their own series, and I'm not entirely planning on doing every Yoshi game out there, because I'm not... Some of the Yoshi games I love, and other ones I'm really not a big fan of, you know? So I'm only going to really tackle the Yoshi games I love, and I'm not going to bother doing them in chronological order like I'm bothering with the Mario games and what have you. So, yes, it's gonna be fun when I get around to them. But I digress. Most of the stages consist of standing on these skulls and not going in lava, really, and jumping over the blocks whenever you see them. Now, one thing that's interesting about Yoshi, like I mentioned before, he has iron feet. I'm not entirely sure if you can jump on the blocks, Yoshi, but I assume you're able to. Don't test it. That's probably the best thing I should say. Do not test to see whether Yoshi's iron feet become useful against the blocks, but I think you can jump on the blocks as Yoshi. I think. But I digress. Anyway, get the Cape Feather, which is going to be helpful. Now, whenever you have the Cape Feather and you have Yoshi, it's like the God combo of this game, because when you have Yoshi, obviously you're much more versatile as it is. But when you have the Cape Feather, you have the ability to slow down when you're jumping. You can jump really high if you run enough. So it's very useful to have. But with that, that's the end of this stage. And with 30 stars! Oh, mamma mia! Mario's gonna have a field day. Why? I don't know. I just wanted to say that. But yeah, for pretty much every stage on the right hand side of the Vanilla Dome is a single exit stage. You don't need to worry too much about looking for the secrets, you know? It's simply get to the end and you should be fine for the most part. Although now we're introduced to a reoccurring enemy from the Mario franchise that we saw quite a bit earlier on in the series, all the way back in the original game. This, ladies and gentlemen, is the Bullet Bill. So yeah, Bullet Bills act like they did previously. They go from the left or right of the screen, and they basically shoot up from the bottom of the screen on rare occasions as well, which is pretty new. Although one thing I find very interesting is in the actual programming of the game, I don't know, I haven't actually looked at the code of the game, but from what I hear, in the programming of the game, the vertical, like, bullet bills, instead of doing what you'd expect, which is just taking the normal bullet bills and just sort of turning them and pushing them up, for some reason they're apparently considered their own enemy type, and I think that's probably because of I assume that's probably because of technical issues, but it's quite weird, you know, if you think about it. Just wow. You'd expect them to simply turn the sprite upwards, you know, instead of making it its own enemy type. But I digress. And did I just kill the bullet bill? And what? glitches. This game isn't perfect, folks, you know. Yeah, that's its fair share of glitches, but what game doesn't, eh? Anyway, with that is our stage all over and done with, and we have access to yet another bonus level. Okie dokie, let's see if we can get a full 9 of lives. Ho ho! But, yeah, if you want to know the main key to gain as many lives as possible, it's literally finding a good position to stand and then jumping at the right time. And you're pretty much guaranteed at least 3 or 4 lives if you do it right, you know? But, yeah, with that's that bonus stage done. Huzzah! You know, think of the commentary to talk about during the normal bonus stages is going to get harder and harder. And it's Lemmy's castle. It's not Roy's. Alright, if anyone's wondering what I'm referencing when I say that, is, hey, Magic Koopas! We got Magic Koopas now. They shoot laser blasts and basically they throw PlayStation at us and the PlayStation will destroy the platforms, you know, like so. But, I'm basically referencing an a cappella thing that I saw on YouTube way back where they basically did an a cappella version of this castle theme. And they added lyrics to it, so, not Roy. This is our castle, but it's not Roy's one. You know, and it went along like that. It was actually very good a cappella. I did enjoy it. If I can find it again, I'll probably put it in the description, but I'm not making any promises of that, because I'm probably going to forget to look for it by the time this gets uploaded on YouTube, because I'm probably going to upload this within like 3 weeks after it's recorded, but I digress. Anyway, this castle by you is a little bit tricksy. It's, one thing I recommend doing is going by really slow, you know. Don't take your time. Don't go fast. Don't be Sonic the Hedgehog, you know. I know Luigi is considered like the well, he's not really considered the fastest brother of the 2 Mario brothers, as he's more the jumpy jump guy. Either way, just don't go over the top speed, you know. You need go at a reasonable pace, otherwise you may die, you know, folks. But be careful of all these dry bones, because dry bones are an enemy type that I think they're in Mario 3 as well. If you break them by jumping on them, they will temporarily be disabled, but they will not permanently die. The only way to permanently dry the only way to dry a dry bones. No, the only way to permanently kill a my words are failing me today. The only way to permanently kill a dry bones, hey, I said it right, is to spin into them using a cape feather, you know? Or throwing a shell at them, but there's no shells in the area, so we can't really do anything other than temporarily disable them for the meantime. Now, I don't know if doing a spin jump makes them disabled for longer. I assume it doesn't, but I bring that up because it would make sense, because spin jumps are considered more powerful jumps in this game now. Either way, new enemy type, well, new boss type, I should say. Basically, 3 Koopas are going to pop up from these pipes. 2 fake Koopas and 1 real Koopa. If you jump on the real one, which is actually Lemmy, then you'll do damage to him. If you jump on the wrong one, then, well, nothing will really happen, but Lemmy will basically reset his position and try and go somewhere else. But if you're good enough, you can sort of combo into him anyway. And with that, Not Roy is dead. Good old Lemmy Koopa.
Okie dokie, now I can get out of this creepy place. Oh, but first, it's hammer time.
Ho ho! Luigi has triumphed over Lemmy Koopa of Castle Number 3. Luigi's quest is starting to get much more difficult. Have you found the red and green switches yet?
What if I have? What if I haven't? Tales of interest.
I don't know. But yeah, that's basically all of this side of Vanilla Dome done, and now we can actually, if we want, access the next area. But we're not going to do that for now, because all the way to the left we have another area that we've completely skipped, which we're ignoring for the time being, because we're going to go back to get more power-ups, of course. You know, it's Mario World. And going, basically, this is the aim of the game. You know, you're always gonna end up going back to this area when you figure out it exists. You know, for the longest time though, when I was younger, I had no idea that the top secret area existed. You know, so knowing that it's there is such a big help. It makes things so much easier to get through. But I digress. Anyway, this stage right here is probably one of the easiest hidden exits in the entire game to find. And one thing I find is that the hidden exits that lead to Star World, which is the star icon on the map, they tend to be the easier hidden exits to find out of a lot of them. But the problem I have with them is that, well, I'm not going to Star World yet. Star World is going to be like one of the very last things I'm going to be completing in this LP, folks, you know? Despite the fact I can go to it right now if I so choose. But anyway, what you're going to want to do is fly on up here, and you see this pipe, go through it, and that's the hidden exit. Another thing about it, it can be quite easy to miss this, you know? So how I found it is beyond me when I first got through this game, but I digress. Just, there we go.
28. Oh, I can read, you know.
Seriously, you'll find yourself getting a lot of bonus stars throughout this game. It's very unlikely you won't break hundreds bonus stars and get the bonus game. In fact, there's only one person I've ever seen play this game and not get the bonus game, and that was Elliot from the Super Gaming Brothers playthrough. Awesome channel, by the way, if you haven't checked them out, so I would recommend having to check those out. They're very good LPs, really good LPs actually, some of my favorites. But check them out after this video, folks. I want to keep my viewer retention high after all. But I digress. Anyway, going back to the stage, instead of using our cape feather, because you do need the cape feather to get up there, I think. I don't know any way that you can't get up, you know, I don't know any way you can get up to that secret exit without the cape feather. But you're going to use this trampoline in order to jump up to the next sequence of the main stage itself. And if you wanted, you can take this trampoline with you to the exit of the stage. And if you manage to do that, the trampoline will actually turn into a 1-up, so you can actually gain access, you know, you can gain extra lives if you really so choose. Why didn't I bother? Because at the time I was recording this, I had no idea that the trampoline gave you a 1-up if you took it with you, so I just left it. It doesn't really make a difference, you know, I still... Lives are not an issue. I have 40 of the swords, you know, and...
Did you really just kick a football at me? Oh, that is bullshit. Bullshit. There you go.
Now is what I like to call spinning someone out. Oh, laugh at me. But I digress. That is it for Vanilla Doom, essentially now over and out. So, up here, go into this pipe and a new area. Now this area by here, Vanilla Secret 2, is out in the open. The only vanilla area, these 2 vanilla stages, or 3 vanilla stages, the only ones that take place outside of the dome itself. And this is a very unique stage in that if you want a live grind, for any reason, this is the level that you go to. Because later down the line you're going to be introduced to a brand new type of switch. I have no words. But you're going to be introduced to a new kind of switch later down the line called the silver switch. And what this does is it turns enemies and items into silver coins. And if you collect enough of them, your life count will just shoot up. It will skyrocket to the point you're getting 3-ups with every single coin you collect. And like I said, every single enemy in the stage transforms into a coin. So getting a Yoshi to get through this makes things so much easier because you can simply hold forward and never lose Yoshi and never die. Well, until you get to this point, then you probably fall down the gap, and that's no good. But yeah, just I'll talk more about the Switch when I get to it, because it's seriously this is a stage you go to when you need a live grind. At least this is a stage I go to. There it is. There's the silver switch. Now, just shoot it out somewhere, jump on it, and there we go. Look at all the beautiful, not moolah, but look at all the lives we're gonna pick up, right? And honestly, the live count will just rocket. It skyrockets from this point onwards, folks, you know? There's so many lives you can pick up just by hitting that switch. And honestly, I probably could have picked up more lives if I went in a different way, you know? Because there's loads of enemies ahead of me, I believe. Is there? Am I right? I could be wrong. Okay, I'm wrong, so if I don't know what I was thinking then. My brain's gone. Okay, I just wanted Yoshi. Come on, boy. Come on. It's good, Yoshi. Come on.
There we go. Okay, oh, motherfucker. Oh.
Why is this? I'm having so much trouble getting upwards. It's one jump, for God's sake. There we go. Just Jesus Christ. Effort. But yeah, seriously, that's a fantastic stage. Your life count will shoot up within a few seconds, you know, if you really want to. And if you beat a level, is one thing you can actually do, and that's push the start button and then the select button. And what will happen is you'll be kicked out of the stage, allowing you to redo it. So if you get the checkpoint in that stage, after you beat it once, and then you push the select button and start select, and you get kicked out, then you can repeat that sequence again, which means you can just repeat it within a few seconds, purely to get hold of a good couple of 100 lives, you know. But I digress. Anyway, these dolphin things by here are our best friends in this stage, folks, because we can actually use them as platforms in order to progress onwards in the stage. And that fish is my least favorite enemy in the game because he's just a nightmare. Look at him. He's just sort of meandering about, just like he's got a real case of pedo stare, hasn't he? He's like, you're mine, Luigi. But I digress. Anyway, you can ride these dolphins to the end, and it's a very simple stage. It's one of the easiest stages in the game. And one thing that's interesting is, in the Japanese version of this game, you can actually eat the dolphins. They took this out for the American and European versions of the game for obvious reasons, but you know, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Why we would eat those things is beyond me, because they're helping you. Don't eat your allies, for God's sake. Who do you think we are, Kirby? Which, you know, Kirby games, basically every Kirby game starts off with him causing the issue. But that's beside the point. It's time to go into the next, well, not even the next castle. This is the first of the fortresses, fortresses. Fortressi? Oh, this is the first fortress level of the game, and fortresses are basically castles that are slightly harder and don't end with a coupling, you know. The stages we're going to see a couple of times, and they are usually the hardest levels in the entire game. But with enough patience, enough endurance, we can get through just fine. Although they still have the same North Roy music theme, which I love. But yeah, well, you might be wondering, if there's no coupling, no major Koopa boss, who's the boss fight at the end of these things? Because a stage like this ominous, has to have a boss, does it? Well, ladies and gentlemen, the boss fight is coming up in a few seconds, actually, and I don't want to spoil it just yet. But yeah, this is essentially an underwater castle, and dry fish are introduced to us as well, which is the most redundant thing in the history of anything ever. Beware of my mighty dry fish. They will eat you, I guess. They will nibble your kneecaps. But meet Reznor. This is a recurring boss in this game, folks, and every time you fight him, you deal with him the exact same way. You boop the bottom of the platform that the Reznor Triceratops is standing on, and knock all four of them off, and you will be victorious.
Get out of here, you dinosaur twit. I'm a Luigi, #1, and if any of you mess with Luigi, you die! Ho ho! This is why Luigi is a superstar in a Mario Party, you know? Ho ho! Oh bye!
But with that, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for watching. Hope you all enjoyed. Don't be sheepish, people. And when we return next time, we'll be entering Butter Bridge. A surprising number of worlds in this game are named after products like food and whatnot. You'll come to notice. But yeah, like I said, don't be sheepish, people. I'll catch you all next time. Bye!